Hello guys, it's me Sultai. Welcome to a new interview. It's an interview, so to speak, with a free-to-play player or someone who hardly spends any money. Today I am conducting the interview with the Punisher from server 71, from server 20,107. Alter. Today I am conducting the interview with the Punisher from server 20,174. Alte Schwede. It's the Punisher, yeah, from server 174. It's my longest interview so far. Have fun and feel free to leave a like or a comment. And have fun. Your Sultai. Okay, how did you get into the game?
I've always loved playing online games with people from around the world. The first ones I played were browser games like Battle.net, O-Game, etc. I loved the Walking Dead series, especially the first seasons, so it was only natural for me to search for an online game with that theme, or even better, one based on it, even if it's just the comics.
What was your best season?
I can't choose just one because it's actually two. Season 3 on my current main account and also Season 3 on my previous main account. Both had a ton of fighting, a lot of smack talk on the Battlefield chat to spice things up, and both were fairly balanced in the way they played out.
Which season was the worst?
I can't really say that there was a season I'd describe as the worst. I mean, even when you lose, you can still have fun, and that's the top priority for us at 174. Of course, seasons that are completely unbalanced are always bad for everyone. I mean, the winners will get the extra rewards, but everyone is bored. There's no thrill, no excitement, nothing, as everyone just has to wait for months until the new one starts. In seasons like these, many players quit, regardless of whether they are winners or losers.
How many accounts do you have?
Muhahaha. Well, I was called the King of Alts for some time on my old account, so the answer is a lot. The truth is, when the devs added seasons, besides that endless Season 1 that everyone had before, I made some accounts on the servers around my own so I could spy on our future opponents. This was the first reason I had many alts. At the same time, different friends of mine were restarting on new servers, so I made an account there to accompany them. This was the second reason. Finally, the third reason is that I'm also curious about new servers that receive a lot of hype before they even open, like 666 or 1000, etc. So I create an account on them when they do open.
Do you think the difference between free-to-play players and whales is getting bigger and bigger?
The gap between free-to-play players and whales is not just getting bigger and bigger, it's already an abyss. Even if a whole server of normal players faced one whale, they would be decimated. Yes, my example is extreme, but it's on purpose to show how absurd the difference already is. This is the first and most important reason why the game is losing so many players continually, and will continue to do so until something changes. To be honest, it doesn't even make sense from a business perspective. The company is losing long-term customers and profits for a short-term money grab, but there's more to it because the main attraction of this game is the community and the bonds that develop between the players. For example, when 20 free-to-play or small spenders quit, the devs may only see an average loss of $200 or $300 per month in total. But these 20 people may be the closest friends of the whale on their server, and the reason that whale kept spending so much, which in turn made the other whale spend, which made the dolphin spend, and so on. The bonds, the friendships, the community are what keep everyone invested in the game, not the new spectacular skin for the SWAT that looks like a transformer.
What should the devs do to make things better for free-to-play players?
This is the problem. All of us have different ideas of what would make things better for the free-to-play and small spenders, to keep them in the game, and in that way, keep the game's community alive and thriving, and the devs' pockets full of money. Devs really need to pay more attention to what free-to-play and small spenders want. Sit down, work on the ideas and proposals provided to them, and decide what can actually be implemented into the game. For now, at least, what devs really need to do is focus their full attention on the mini-games like SAW, TTBE, and the other one LOL. They should work on making them more balanced with matchmaking that actually works and makes sense. So, in the end, even a free-to-play player who is good at a specific minigame and grinds it can reach number 1 in the ranking. Whales dominate everything: seasons, battles, duels, events, everything. At least make minigames fair for everyone through matchmaking so free-to-play players have a chance to excel in these and use them as a way to release their frustration from the unfairness of the rest of the game.
Would you like to say hello to anyone?
I would like to say hello to all the 2001-74 family. Much love to all of you. But also to send my love to all my bros and sisters that I was with in Fear, SPTN, and later MSFT. To the people of the 289 server, pre-merge. And to every cool dude and gal I met through this game from around the world.
What are you most looking forward to in the coming seasons?
As I mentioned in previous questions, I want to see devs making changes to keep our community alive. I want to see the devs making changes to balance things. I want to see the devs actually implementing fair matchmaking systems. One thing I also want to see is more variation and strategy added to the game. Currently, every single player is exactly the same as the next one. The only difference is how much money they have invested in the game and what premium content they possess. This is especially true for whales because they have unlocked all the normal content. The only difference is the number of Town Hall skins they have bought. Otherwise, it's the same survivors, same vehicles, same troops, same.
Have you been zeroed out a lot like me?
I fight a lot. I get flown a lot, and I lose a lot of troops attacking every season. But I can't even remember the last time I was caught without a shield while I was offline and got reset. Definitely never on this account. My shield drops only to attack enemies. My advice to everyone is to use bigger shields when you're going to be offline for quite a while.
And is there anything you want to say or say in general, and a few words to all players out there?
I would like to remind everyone that behind each town there is a real person, so there's no need to always be hostile and aggressive toward others. Don't get me wrong, I love fighting, I love smack talking with enemies, I love trolling them, and I love arguing, but I always try to keep things game related. I've seen people trying to find ways to harm the real lives of others. That's just so bad. At the end of the day, it's just a game. Have fun and take care, everyone.